What's up, YouTubers? So before we get started with this video on Get Up, they're going to be talking about, is karma going to get the Green Bay Packers for them drafting quarterback Jordan Love? So let's see what they have to say about that.
Some will look at that, Rex, and say, see, maybe they didn't get it so wrong in the draft. Is that the way you see it?
No, I say, see, that's why they got it wrong in the draft. I mean, look, you're that close away from being in the Super Bowl. So hell no. I mean, what, you're going to draft a scout team quarterback and that's why you're having the success you got? No, you could have helped your team anywhere. I don't know, CD Lamb, whatever. I don't care who it is. You could have improved this team. And
They definitely could have drafted a wide receiver, a running back. They could have done something, anything to help out Aaron Rodgers, but instead they drafted a quarterback in spite of Aaron Rodgers.
here's what I think's going to happen. I think karma's going to get them in the end. I really do, because if you're drafting you disrespected Aaron Rodgers, and I think it's going to bite you.
I think it's going to come back to bite them in the butt, too. I think Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay Packers are going to go very far this year. Last year, they were knocking on a Super Bowl berth in NFC Championship game, but they just couldn't be able to pull it off. But definitely, I think they're going to go far this year. If they make it to the Super Bowl, that's going to be huge. That's going to be huge in your face to the Green Bay Packers from Aaron Rodgers. So let's continue.
That differently. I was one of those people who was okay with them not taking a receiver in the first round. I think the Packers are the crown of the NFC right now. Through 2 weeks,
I agree.
I could tell you why. Their quarterback's playing the best football he's played in a couple years. Their running back is the most underappreciated player in football. Aaron Jones is tied in the NFL, for the NFL lead in touchdowns over the last 2 years with Christian McCaffrey. And the receiving core has become more than just Devontae Adams. Allen Lazard and Valdez-Scantling have developed into becoming viable options for this football team. And then they have the best offensive line in football. And so this team is the crown or the best group or best team in the NFC through 2 weeks.
RC, let me ask.
So let's take a quick look at the stats for the Green Bay Packers and their offense. So Aaron Rodgers went 18 for 30, 240 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and his QBR is 89.3, balling. And then Aaron Jones, he ran the rock 18 times for 168 yards and 2 touchdowns. So needless to say, they're really on the ball. They beat the Detroit Lions. I know it's only Detroit, but still, they're sitting at 2-0 at this point, and everything's looking good for Aaron Rodgers. I hope he really does get back at the Green Bay Packers and goes far this year, because what they did was just, there was no reason for it, especially after he had a year. They went 13-3, went to NFC Championship game. It was almost going to get there, but the 49er defense wasn't having it. I mean, and then I can see if they did this 2 or 3 years ago when he didn't even make the playoffs. But after what he did last year, there's no reason for them to have drafted Jordan Love. And I like I said before, I don't want to hate on Jordan Love because it's not his fault who he was drafted by and when. But I hope Aaron Rodgers does good this year in spite of the Green Bay Packers.
Look at this. You've had your share of battles with Aaron Rodgers. If his team is going to run for 259 yards as they did yesterday, nobody's going to beat him, right?
No, you're in trouble, especially with the way he's throwing the ball. There were some drops yesterday as well. Right now, I'm just hoping that the Detroit Lions really save up their money, put all of their pennies together, and make sure they buy Aaron Jones a proper Father's Day gift for being their daddy yesterday, because he was all over the field in the run game, in the pass game, and he was amazing, and they could not stop him. This is also... and don't get me wrong, the Packers are good, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves and crown them as the best team in the NFC, because the big brother just beat up on 2 little brothers who aren't very good right now. If you look...
Okay, well, he beat up on 2 little brothers, but one of the little brothers went to the playoffs last year, and they did decent, and that was the Minnesota Vikings. They did all right. Dalvin Cook definitely put in work in the playoffs last year. Now, the Detroit Lions were trash like always, but still, 2-0 is 2-0. I'll take that all day, every day, no matter who I'm playing.
At the end of the second quarter, the Detroit Lions have the ball backed up. They take a sack. They give the ball to the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers come back, score a touchdown. They get the ball out of halftime. Aaron Jones for 75 yards. Right now, the Green Bay Packers are doing the things that they need to do. And Aaron Jones has picked up right where he did last year. But this team still has some holes, still has some deficiencies, and we haven't watched them get dragged into deep water yet. And we saw Devontae Adams get a little banged up yesterday. For me, when Rex starts to talk about karma, that would be the karma. If somehow Devontae Adams gets banged up, and Lazard, who has stepped up, and Valdez-Scantling, who has stepped up and played better through these first 2 games, has to carry the load from the wide receiver standpoint. Right now, the Green Bay Packers are doing really well, but they started last year like this too. Let's see what happens as the season gets long.
I totally disagree with that.
Okay, if they started out last year like this, what was the end result? They went 13-3. I'll take that all day, every day. So I don't know why he would say that, but let's continue.
We saw Devontae get beat up last year. He got banged up last year. I think he missed 4 games. I think they went 4-0 in those football games. And I'm telling you, those 2 young receivers have become difference makers. They have grown and developed. And RC brings up like a fair point.